Hey booties and bootas, it's Goddess Isis. So I'm doing this voiceover for my Goddess Transformations. This is the official Goddess Glam for 2020 quarantine. All right, not quarantine, quarantine. So this is how we start. So I start off with color correcting. A couple of the colors are a little bit weird because of my lighting. I don't have the most professional lighting, as well as I am using my Galaxy S10. So it's great, but it's not, top-notch 4K professional. So bear with me until I have the coins to afford a 4K camera. Well, I guess it is 4K. I'm not using on 4K because it's too many memory. Anyways, so I am color correcting my beard, mustache, as well as a little bit under my jaw, and under my eye. So I am taking a orangey, reddish orange color with a little bit of undertone of yellow, and it is counteracting the color of the gray under my eyes, as well as from my beard, since I am a man biologically, not emotionally or mentally, but biologically I'm a man. And then right after that, right now I am just setting my face. We are doing a light translucent powder, air spun powder, just to set that orange, so when I put my foundation on, it does not mix or transfer into each other. Now I am stippling with a beauty blender my foundation, which is just a little bit lighter than my skin tone. I like to go in layers, so when I build my foundation and I do have a full heavy coverage, it's not cakey or looking any type of crazy. So it is light, it is like a lighter color, and then I add my another foundation on top of it, which is a little bit more yellowy, and that really cancels out all of the gray in my beard area, so it just looks nice and bright. And now I am adding my highlight, which is to my T-zone, sort of. So my top of my cheekbone, side of my nose, I'm going on the Cupid's bow, and I'm going to go in the center of my nose and in the center of my forehead, right above my brows. And I'm just going to highlight and make the skin look beautiful, bright, flawless, like my life. Right. We're just brightening up his face and making her look gorgeous and sickening. So yeah, speaking of gorgeous and sickening, you can check out my Instagram. It is _goddessisis_. My Facebook, Goddess Isis NJ. And my Twitter is Goddess Isis NJ. Now I am highlighting again. So I did my highlighting, now I am brightening even further. Again, the same areas, just this is a little bit more concentrated, so it is a lighter color, and it is brightening and lifting up my beautiful cheekbones. Cheekbones is being highlighted into the heavens. And chin. And Cupid's bow. And then get those creases. You don't want no creases, honey. No creases in your face, no creases in your sneakers. Yep, so blendy blend. Alright, now we just got into this contour. Now this contour is where it gets a little bit tricky. So I just do a real simple straight line and blend her back and front, and then up and down. But you don't want to go too far up, you don't want to go too far down. You see where I'm keeping that line at, that shadow, which is right under that highlighted section with the concealer on it, and right above that jawline, because later on we're going to chisel her down. So that just gives me a good old shadow. You see, it's not too much, not too crazy, not too harsh, but it creates a really beautiful shadow. So you put the little lines, right? And then you do the blending. Blending is key, blending. So now that's all blended out, I use whatever little bit of excess I have from that concealer, and I do the sides of my nose, which is right on the top. So the bridge of my nose, I go right on the side and side. So I have like a little line, which is maybe like a millimeter wide, maybe a little less. And that is my new nose structure. So just chisel out the nose. Now I am setting all of my face. So I'm using a translucent powder, setting my highlighted areas first because I like to keep those nice and bright. Then I bring it down into the rest of my face with a good old light amount of translucent powder, which usually ends up all over my clothes. Now I am going in with a bronzer. So the bronzer is just going to give a little bit of depth, bring back some color and warmth into the face, some definition. So you want to hit, number one, you see how I'm blending. You want to go around beautiful, light, big, fluffy circles because that's just going to bring in just life and depth and color and warmth. You don't want to go outside looking like Casper the Friendly Ghost unless that's the look that you're going for. Me, I am a Hispanic woman and I like my tan. And unfortunately, it's been winter. It's New Jersey, so it's been winter. It's been spring for the past week or so, but it's actually been winter for most of the time. And I'm a little light, so I like to go a little bit heavier on my bronzer and bring back that warmth, that yellow, that glow into my skin. And now I am chiseling out that jaw, honey, because honey, who wants 2 or 3 chins, bitch, when you can just draw on 1? And that's what I'm doing. I am drawing my chin so that it looks like there's 1 instead of 2.5. Yes. Blending. Again, you don't want no harsh ass lines. Now we're going in with a lighter contour. So this is a cooler toned brownish red, so more of a brown, cooler toned brown, and this is going to give me shadow rather than definition. And I like to put this on because this one matches the contour under. So the contour that I put in with my cream, this one is almost that same color. It's just a very light, I'm just building it up. I start off very lightly and then I build her up slowly, and then again I take whatever little bit of excess that I have on that brush from my contouring, I take that again into my jawline, under my chin, and a little bit into my temples. I'm not a queen who loves like a really dark heavy contoured temple, but I do like definition around the face. So when I do have a wig on or when I have some type of hair on, it really adds a lot of curve and a lot of shape and again, yeah, definition, to my face. So I'm not gonna contour heavy, but it's gonna be a good one. And this is just layer 1, layer 1 out of maybe 5. But yeah, bear with a bitch. And I did shorten this video quite a bit, I'm sure you can tell. So it's very simple, just blending is key. So now again, I'm taking the little bit of excess that I had that I blended my forehead and my cheeks with, that same contour, which is just a light contour color, maybe 1 shade darker than my actual skin tone, and I'm just going right on the sides of my nose, doing a very soft contour for my nose. Now a lot of people like a very extreme contour, and that's completely up to you. You're more than welcome to do that. For me, I like something a little bit, I hate to use the word natural, but something softer, if that's the key. Now, if you want a super contour chisel nose, you're more than welcome. That's all on you. For me, I like a nose to be contoured and defined, but still beautiful and not look like it's, pointy drawn on bullshit, if you know what I mean. So now I am highlighting and I am just chiseling out that soft line that I made so I can blend her out later, as well as bake my cheekbones and around like the top of my mouth, Cupid's bow. And I'm going to add a little line right in the center of my nose. That's going to get that little extra definition, but it's still going to look smooth and beautiful and soft. So again, this is a very simple drag look. This is my go-to, like if I have like an hour to get ready, boom, boom, bam, there you go. I can get beautiful Golden Goddess done. Golden Goddess signature look done super quickly. So now I'm just, just going in again. It's just the same color, just very lightly chiseling out that nose, then going into my cheekbones with a reddish brown. And this is giving me this is really giving me more like definition, warmth, a little bit more drama when it comes to the contour. And I am working it. I start out right above my ear, like right towards my ear, put most of the pigment there, blend it out, and then I bring it downwards. You don't want to bring down a whole bunch of like pigment. When you have a bunch of pigment on your brush or product on your brush, you don't want to bring it straight from your ear straight down to like the side of your cheek, because then it's going to be a lot harder to blend it out. So you might as well blend it out on the top and bring it down lightly and then build your way. Now that that is done, you see the definition is there. I am taking a like a yellowish beige pressed powder, and I am just chiseling out my jawline, because this is going to make that contour look a lot more expansive and exquisite. And it is going to also cancel out if there was any gray left in my beard or around my mustache. I'm not gonna have to worry about that. I'm gonna also add another color on top of that to, to calm that yellow down. Now I am adding good old blush, which I like to use a pigment from the James Charles palette, which is like one of these like really nicest, like a really nice red. And I like to use that also. I like to use like this other brown. Like he has like this whole like little nude section in the center of his palette, and it's really amazing, that I do use for like blushes and contours sometimes as well. I don't know what I was going through, but I probably was telling somebody off. Probably my boyfriend. He didn't deserve it though. Now that I'm highlighted and chiseled and contoured and stunning and thickening and beautiful, I am doing my brows. Now I am going to be wearing my red bitch. Her name is Quarantina Lachey DeVirus. That's my red wig. That's her name. I'm gonna have a little video at the back of it. And she a little new. I trimmed her up, added some edges and shit. And she's sickening. Quarantina is that bitch. Like, she's that bitch from the hood. She'll fuck you up. She'll get you sick. But everybody wants her. Everybody got her. No, I'm a mess. But no, yeah. So I'm doing red wig today. So I'm just gonna match. I like to match my brows usually to my hair, unless I'm wearing like multiple different styles of hair. And my hair is red fire truck, pussy pink red, like ready red bitch. Yeah, I'm just carving out the outside of my brows, giving me a nice little arch. I like to shave off about 75% of my brow, so I can just draw them on exactly how I want to, instead of having to draw them on with the way that they grow, or covering them with glue stick. That's so much work. Like I do transformations and stuff like that, and you guys will not imagine the amount of time and the amount of effort that goes into having to glue down somebody's brows. It is ridiculous. It's a mission. It's doable, but it's such a mission. Then you gotta make it smooth, and then you gotta cover it, then you gotta be careful when you're doing pigments, and then just all the hairs. It's just like, you know what? Just shave them off, guys. It's just drag. Shave them off. Why not? If I wasn't working in an office, my brows would be completely gone. But I am, so I have to, still be sort of a little classy bitch with a little bit of brow, so that so the kids don't look at me weird. Now I'm just filling them in. I'm using a red pigment, and then I'm gonna go in with a little bit of dark finish, like a dark brown pigment after this, and that is going to add the definition, like where my brow starts and where the red, and then where it ends and then where the red starts. It looks kind of harsh, at least in person, so I go in a little later with a darker pigment and a tiny little brush, and I just add a couple little like strokes of darkness, so that it looks like my hair is continuing all the way to the edge of that brow. Now you see how I drew it on a little bit of rough. Now that I'm blending her out, it works perfect. Just take your finger, a little flick, wipe it off, 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 and flick, wipe it off, and bitch flick, wipe it off. And honey, look at how blended she is. She is everything. Now I am going in with this beautiful simple eye. It is just a nice warm tone, the same tone that I use for one of my contour colors. It is the same exact tone, and I just go in right into the inner crease, and I connect the inner crease to my contoured nose, chiseled nose, and I just blend her out. Beautiful small circles, blending. Remember, blending, mama, blending is key. You don't want any crazy harsh lines unless that is the look you are going for, all right? No judgment, you do you. If you want crazy harsh stripes on your face, you're more than welcome. For me, I prefer something a little softer. Again, I don't like to use the word natural, but I go for a soft glam for drag, if that makes any sense. So with drag, you obviously have to wear a couple pounds of makeup, but this is the softest you can go. This is the fishiest you can get for drag, you know, at least with my face shape. You know, other people that have smaller noses, bigger lips, higher cheekbones, slimmer jaws, they can go fishier. You know, you do you, whatever works for your face and your shape that works. But if you're a big bitch like me, you have a big old head, you're a good old 200 something pounds, and you know, you wanna go for something beautiful, soft, you know, plus size, beauty, thickness, glamour goddess, this is the look that you're gonna go for. So now I'm going for something with a little bit deeper. Now the same colors that I use for my contours, which is like maybe 3 or 4 or 5 different colors, is the exact same colors that I'm using on the inner crease. And I'm not even hitting my eyelid, it's just the crease, and I am blending her out slowly, with all the pigment inside. The heaviness, the darkness, the deepness is inner, closer to my nose, and I'm just blending it out softly towards the outside, which usually it's the opposite way around. People usually go really harsh for the outside, but the look that I'm going for is a little different, which for me, it works for my face shape. Now I am taking a black pigment, very simple black pigment, and I am lining my eye. I ran out, but it was like perfect timing, but it was like I ran out of my black eyeliner, my good black eyeliner. So now I'm just kind of like, you know, MacGyvering my way around this and making it work, which it actually turned out really amazing, at least for my personal view. I thought it was really amazing, so I was really happy that this all worked out. But I am just using a black pigment, and I'm just placing it where I would put my, like a normal liquid eyeliner or a gel liner. Now I'm taking the pencil and filling in my upper waterline, my lower waterline, and then I am going above my lashes where you would normally put like a liquid or a gel liner, and I'm taking that pencil, filling that area in, and I will be taking more black pigment and going over it and blending that out, making it a lot smoother and looking really like sharp, and have it looked really sharp and polished with the black pigment after this. Sorry guys, I'm talking a lot, but that's what you're gonna get with a voiceover. So I took a little, you know, little very tiny, kind of like pointy brush, just a little busted, but she do her job. And again, I'm just blending out that that pencil that I put there, blending it into the winged liner. Then I'm going to take a little bit more pigment, you know, boom, 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 boom. Now I'm going onto my eyelid, right into the center above that liner, right under the crease colors, and I am just adding a little bit of shimmer, just something very simple, very light, quick, boom, boom, bam, like a champagne shimmer. And then just redefining my crease so that shimmer is just right above the liner, but it's not, you know, passing all over the place like all crazy and shit. Then I am doing my brow bones as well, so the same little champagne shimmer, we just plop her right under that brow bone, which I did not conceal, as you can see, because bitch, when you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready, honey. And when you draw them brows on right, you don't have to conceal those motherfuckers. Thank you very much. And I'm just blending her out, you know, blending like all the colors and blending and blending. Now I am taking a good old brown and I am blending right under my waterline, my lash line. I'm blending her up and out, and I'm going to take a light brown, a dark brown, and then I'm going to do a black. And I'm gonna have that black rubbed or like blended right up against my waterline with also with the black pencil as well. Taking a little bit fluffier brush, using that lighter brown with a little bit of red, and I just tapped in both brown and red, and I am just blending those colors down under my waterline, just to make it a little bit more sultry, a little softer, a little more bedroom feel. See, I'm gonna put a little bit more red on that bitch. And blend. I was blending. Bitch, don't be afraid to drag that pigment down, bitch. As long as you don't have too much on your brush, you could drag her down and then you could go right over again. Now I'm going over with like a setting or like a finishing powder. And, excuse me. Going over with a setting, like a finishing powder over my highlighted areas. Just blending them out into where I contoured and chiseled up, this, and that. You feel me? So we gotta be nice and blended, and I do like to be very, very bright for my highlight, by the way. Now I am just going back in, just redefining, and I'm actually going in not with the contour, but with the bronzer again, just redefining my skin. So I want to make sure that everything is blended out. Forehead is good, cheekbones are nice and blended, but still dramatic. Down into my jaw, so that there's not that super harsh line that was there is going to disappear, and everything can still look nice and contoured and chiseled. Down again under my second chin. Is that the second one? No, that was 1.5. It wasn't number 2. Now I am just taking a good old setting spray, and I am going over my whole skin. So I like going over with a damp beauty blender with no product on it, spray my face, and I just dab all over from head to toe, Rudy to Tootie, and it just gives you like a nicer skin finish. Now I'm going into one of my highlighting palettes, and I'm using this beautiful like iridescent highlight, which is like a little bit of violet, a little bit of blue, a little bit of green, and it's an actual highlight, not a just regular, just like pressed pigment. And look at that beautiful highlight. Look at that. She is stunning. Bitch, that highlight is so cute. It just gives you just like, it doesn't look super glittery, it doesn't look super wet, it's like the most beautiful highlight. I love this highlight, whatever this is. I know the name of it, I have it there. Maybe like, I think it's like Huda or something like that, I forgot. Anastasia, Huda, I don't know. It's one of, I don't know, it's one of these fucking brands, but it's really cute though. Now, yeah, so now usually I go in with a liner, a lip liner, and then a lipstick, but for this specific look, I wanted to go with this specific color. So I wanted the color to be the exact same color as my eye, so I am using, again, the same pigment. So I'm going in with the same, 4 colors, basically used on my whole face, which is super, I think is super amazing. You know, you save product, you save time, you know what you're doing. This is a quick, beautiful glam beat. And I am going to ombre my lips, so I'm going to go in with a deeper brown on the outside, and I'm going to go in with a lighter brown on the inside. My lips are a little crusty, rusted, and busted, but they get better, bitch, as soon as the color on is, the gloss is on. So stop trying to come for me. Yes, I'm licking my brush, bitch. It's my brush, it's my mouth, it's my lips. And when I do other people's makeup for transformations, or when I do have clients, I do wash all of my brushes. I do also have another set of brushes that I use for clients as well. So just so all y'all know. So here we go, you see, so I'm just going in with that little bit, like with that lighter brown in the center. And I am using a powder, but you're gonna see, like, I like the powder. I use the powder because I like the color. Then I go in with this, it's like an Ulta Beauty gloss. I think it's a gloss. I'm not sure if it's like a lipstick or if it's a lip gloss, but it almost looks like a mix between a lipstick and a lip gloss, or at least it does with me, because I guess I put the pigment on, so it kind of mixes with that pigment and the gloss, and it just makes it look nice and juicy and luscious and blended. You see that palette back there with all those colors? That's what my highlight color is in. I just can't remember what that palette is. Maybe it's a Morphe one. I cannot remember. But that's where the highlight is in. So you see, lips are done. Throw them lashes on. Now these lashes I got from the beauty supply store, they was like $8, bitch. And these shits is fluffier than a motherfucking henny. Like, when when a guy is walking by and he got those little basketball shorts on, and his booty fat as hell, and you be like, damn, that booty fat. That's how I felt about those lashes when I seen them. I was like, damn, look at them lashes. Can't wait to take those bitches home. And honey, I was not disappointed. Not disappointed. They're fun. You could layer them like all crazy and shit. Me, I don't mind layering, but it all depends on the situation. And with this situation, I wasn't going out, so no, I'm not gonna layer 2, 3, 4, 5 pair of lashes on. But you definitely could. They would look super beautiful, even fluffier. You know, the more drama you want, the more layers you go, the bigger you know the bigger you go with your lashes, the bigger, thicker you go with your brows, the longer and farther you can go with your liner and all of that. So completely up to you. Same thing with your contours. If you want a super extreme contour, you just go for what fits your face. You don't have to do exactly how I'm doing it. This works for me. So this is my method. This is my signature style of cosmetics specifically for drag. This is not how I would do a client. This is not how I would do a wedding, sweet 16, or even someone more mature. This is just specifically for my face, how I would do my drag makeup. And that's what I've been going with when I do my Goddess Squad transformations. I go with my signature face and I make it work for the person that I'm beating for the day. Now you just gotta lift her up on the corners, because if you don't lift them up, they be sagging, and then it make you look like you got droopy ass eyes, and nobody wants droopy ass eyes. So if you're gonna put your lashes really, really close to your lash line, you need to make sure that you're gonna add a tiny bit of glue once they dry. Once they're drying, you need to be lifting them up on the edges, on the outside edges, until they finish drying for at least, I would say, 30 seconds to 60 seconds. And then you can add a little bit of extra glue, and then you put it on the top, like on the line of where your lash, the outer edge is, and put it on that top line, and then push them up and hold them up there for another 60 seconds, and that glue will dry and hold your lashes higher on your edges. Then I like to add my little tiny little beep boops, and right in the center of my eye, real cute, real sensual, and they're just so adorable. My little tiny little lashes, I cut them up from another pair that I had that was obviously a lot smaller, as you can see, because not even the smallest hair on this one or the smallest fiber on my top lashes are anything as short as that one. So those are from another pair, and I just sliced them up and just had 3 little pink pinks, and then just put them down there, using a little mascara. The mascara is dry as fuck. It is what it is. It's time for a new one. Who finna sponsor this video? Who finna sponsor a new video? Hey Tati, hey Jeffrey, hey James Charles, hey Jackie Aina, hey Patrick Starr, hey Mama Mitchell, what's good? Y'all can send me some shit. I'm down. I need it. And then I have to add my beautiful signatures, because hello, mommy is not complete unless she has her beauty marks and a band-aid. Now I don't know if you guys are gonna get that joke, but basically, I like to put beauty marks. But beauty marks and a band-aid was a really small joke with me and my best friend, where we had we was watching Family Guy, and I don't know, and I'm sure a lot of people are gonna recognize this, but Stewie was doing drag in the mirror, and he was putting on his beauty mark, and he put his little beauty mark in the mirror, and then he put his little band-aid so that he could tuck, and it was like boop, and he like tucked his little pee-pee, and then Brian walked in on him and was like, okay. But yeah, so I like to add my little beauty mark and a band-aid. There we go. So the bitch is finished, lashes on, lips is done, juicy. Henny, this is couture, this is fashion, this is 2020, this is quarantine, lachey, bitch. What's the tea?